Welcome all to the Mindfulness Mondays workshop. I'm Vivian Hermes and I'll be facilitating today's session. And we'll give it one more minute to begin, but as we wait, I just invite you to do a few stretches that feel comfortable for you right now. And if you happen to be on the Zoom call, I invite you to please double check and make sure that you are on mute to minimize the amount of background noise that we might experience. And so I invite you to maintain a alert and yet relaxed posture, elongating your spine. And you can do that by tucking in your chin and imagining that there's a string pulling at the crown of your head up into the sky. Aligning your ears to your shoulders and letting the shoulders melt down your back. From here, you can take a couple of deep but comfortable breaths, breathing in through the nose if that's comfortable today, and even sighing on the exhale. Doing as many as you need to really feel like you've arrived. And once you feel like you are here, letting your breath go to its natural rhythm, and we'll begin by noticing the breath itself. You can just notice the in-breath, the out-breath. If it helps, you can label the in-breath with the word in and the out-breath with the word out. And there will be moments of silence to just help you explore whatever prompt I just provided. Breathing in, I'm aware this is my in-breath. Breathing out, I'm aware this is my out-breath. In, out. And as you stay with the breath, you can begin to notice the qualities of the breath. You can notice that the in-breath might feel a little deeper than when you began. The out-breath may be a little slower.
This is not coming through.
And if you hear background noises, I just invite you to put it on mute. If you find it distracting, you can set it into the background as with any distraction and put your attention on your breath. The practice of mindfulness is a matter of constantly shifting our awareness from whatever might be pulling us away to the thing that we are choosing in this moment to offer our attention to. So, continuing to stay with the breath. Are any two breaths identical? Continuing to label the in and out breath if that's working for you, if it helps you stay and maintain your attention. And you have to recognize that this practice is one of continually returning back. So the mind will wander. The body's been breathing all morning on its own. The mind is going to want to go to something else that it prioritizes. And our practice is of one of continually returning gently, kindly. So you can explore the qualities of the breath. Is it deep, slow? Is it jagged or is it smooth? If you're noting your breathing at your nostrils, you might even notice the temperature shifts of when you breathe in, it tends to be a little cooler than when you breathe out. Is the breath fast or is it slow? You might notice that the full cycle of breath has different features. The in breath starts, goes up, fades away, then there's a moment of pause before it turns into the out breath that starts, rises, and fades away before there's another pause before it turns to another in breath. As you know each of these characteristics, that's a mindful inflection, that's a mindful point. Whether it's the length of the in breath, the pause, the out breath, the pause. And when it comes to noticing the breath, you have options. So you can check your breath at the nostrils, at the rise and fall of the chest, at the expansion and contraction of the belly, or maybe somewhere else. So I invite you to just explore which one seems the most accessible right now. It can change day to day, moment to moment, as long as we can connect with our breath, we can build that bridge between our mind and our body. So, abdomen, chest, nostrils, all are equally good. In, out. And when the mind wanders, we can even label that either as thinking, planning, wandering, whatever label suits you best, keeping it really broad, not getting too drawn in by the contents. So, not labeling the contents, but really the broader category. If it's too strong of a thought or memory or whatever is coming up, is pulling you away from the breath, checking in to see if it's also creating some sort of body sensation. Sometimes we tense up when we expect our mind to do one thing and it decides to do something else. Seeing if we can bring a light, kind, and gentle attitude to that mind wandering as we label it. And if it's still strong, you can even just turn that same mindful attention towards it, giving that same exquisite awareness, noticing what's the mind doing with this thought, this memory, this planning, observing it. And then when it starts to soften and dissolve, naturally on its own, bringing your attention back to the breathing, coming back to the labels if they help. This is my in breath. This is my out breath. As we do this practice, sometimes we become more sensitized to our body sensations. So, checking in to see, or maybe it's already calling your attention, you don't even need to check. Just by mentioning body sensations, we might sometimes notice areas of tension, areas of softness. Our physical sensations can also be the object of our awareness. So, noticing any areas where you might feel tingling, throbbing, tension, softness, warmth, coolness, the mind loves to pursue novelty. So when we begin trying to train it on one thing, especially something like the breath that it already does automatically, it can kind of begin to struggle, wanting to move away onto more pressing, more important things. So recognizing that you can follow just one in breath from when it starts and it fades, or one out breath, or noticing the pause and the turn, that is a mindful moment. You're building that mindful muscle. So offering yourself a little bit of gratitude that for all the things that you could be doing in this moment, you're taking the time to help hone in your attention, creating focus, concentration, ease in the mind and the body. In out. Sometimes this sort of practice helps us find our relaxation. Sometimes this sort of practice gets us in touch with the scatteredness of our mind and recognizing that there is no particular outcome that's meant to happen, that when we take the time to practice, that in itself is the muscle building exercise. The benefits are already manifesting, regardless of what the actual form it takes. But if you can find some relaxation, noticing, how do I know I'm experiencing relaxation? Where in my body do I feel that? And if the mind is scattering, switching, staying curious with that as well. How interesting, this waterfall, this incessant waterfall of thoughts and images that come through my mind. In, out. And now checking into your mind, body, heart, where we sense and originate most of our feelings. And taking stock of how you're feeling. How does the body feel? What's the mind feeling like? What are the state of your emotions right now? Sending yourself some encouragement, some words of appreciation for taking this time to practice, giving your mind, your body this time to just be, not having to pursue anything, be in any particular way. Maybe it's as simple as acknowledging that in this moment, I'm relatively safe, that I can actually dedicate this time, having a little gratitude for the relative safety you might be experiencing right now, or whatever piece that comes to mind for you to be grateful for. Maybe you remember a time when you had a stuffy nose and you were able to follow your breathing today through your nose. Well, gratitude for the ease of breathing, not necessarily our ability to stick with it all the way through the whole time. And now, as we close out this period of practice, I invite you to take a deep breath in comfortably in the same way we began, and exhaling the sigh, taking another deep breath in and exhaling, becoming aware of the space that you're in, and taking another deep breath in and out, opening your eyes if they were closed and just letting them scan the space that you're in, taking in the sights and the colors, the objects, their distance from you. Thank you all for joining this session. I hope it was a pleasant break for your day, and I wish you a beautiful afternoon.
Hi, Vivian.
Hi.
Hi, sorry we had technical difficulties getting set up in the planetarium.
Uh-oh.
So we're good now. It's good
Okay.
to know that you can start the meeting without me
Oh,
because Ruth wouldn't.
sorry.
It's okay because Ruth wouldn't couldn't do that.
Oh, interesting.
I'm
Okay.
glad that
This is
you.
all getting, do you want to stop the recording? It's still
Yes, I do
recording.
actually. I'm
Oh,
sorry.